Well, it's 4:30 in the morning, and yes, I am silly enough to be up at this time in the morning for once, mainly because I haven't had any sleep and I'm not been feeling too good. So I figured a walk around the harbour might do me a little bit of good. So I'm actually at the marina at the moment, and it's very, very quiet, just the way I like it, with all the businesses here underneath Military Road that will be opening in maybe a couple of hours. And the only people that I can see walking around are the people that are going out to the wind farms, the Vattenfall wind farms, which are just off the coast here. But other than that, all is quiet. What we do have, and I might come back to it in a later video, is some reminders that we've got our Dunkirk commemorations coming up. You can see in the picture here all these figures here. Now there's 338 of these, and they each represent around about 1,000 soldiers each. May, June time back in 1940, just over 338,000 members of the Allied Expeditionary Force, and some Free French soldiers as well, were evacuated from Dunkirk by what we now call the little ships. These were motorboats, pleasure yachts, all that sort of thing, even going up to paddle steamers like the Medway Queen. They all went across. Most of them, the original idea was that they would be ferrying the troops from the ship, from the little boats, onto the massive navy ships that would be off the coast. However, it didn't quite work out like that. Yeah, there were quite a few troops that were ferried onto the navy ships, but a lot of the little ships ended up having to make several journeys to and from Dunkirk across a perilous English Channel. They were getting bombed by Stuka bombers 9 ways to Sunday. So that's why we remember them, because it's such a very British thing to do, sending these little boats over it. Apparently it was Churchill's idea, Operation Dynamo as it was called, and they all went across, brought these brave soldiers back and popped them back here in Ramsgate Marina, and some over at Dover. And in here in Ramsgate, my nan was a nurse during the Dunkirk evacuation. She was down here in the harbour helping the troops off of the ships, and she must have seen some awful things, you know, the troops coming off of the ships and that. So there's quite a bit of history associated with our commemorations that we'll be having at the weekend. And already there's quite a few of the original little ships that have arrived in the harbour. So these are little motor yachts and so forth that have been around for well over 80 years, and they've been lovingly restored and looked after by people who want to keep their memory going about what they did. And the vast majority of these little ships have little brass plaques on them to basically say that they are a Dunkirk little ship. So there we are. And we're actually coming a little bit further up to the crosswall. We're on the crosswall at the moment. I'll show you over here. We have the lifeboat. This is our newest lifeboat, actually. I might be wrong. I think it's a Medway class. I can't quite remember. I might be wrong about that. But that's our newest one. That only came in the other year. And thankfully all's quiet with the lifeboats at the moment. It's so quiet at this time of the morning. I should really do this more, but the thing is, I can't be bothered to get up in the morning. And most mornings I'm heading off to work. Some more of those soldiers. As I say, 338 of them are scattered around the harbour. Now, apparently there is a Viking ship that's docked somewhere in the harbour. I don't know where. It's come across. It's been pootling along the coast. It was in London not so long ago. What's not known a lot is that Ramsgate, or rather Klastadship, just down the coast here, was where Hengist and Horsa landed, one of the many landings that took place down that part of the coast, along with St. Augustine, who brought Christianity into this country, and various Roman invasions. Hengist and Horsa, Vikings, they were two well-known people who landed down at Klastadship, and I believe it's, it comes in every now and again to commemorate that. So we're just going across the bridge in the middle of the crosswall. This is where all the yachts come in. So this bridge will raise up and let the yachts in. Well, really usually right now, high tide, but yeah. There's some of the guys going down to the Vattenfall ships. First sign of life. Ah, there it is. You might not be able to see it actually. It's just off to the left of that white yacht, just right in the middle of the picture there. That's that Viking boat that's come across. There we are. Don't know how long it's going to be in the harbour for. Morning. Yeah, so there's a lot of Vattenfall ships over here, and so these bring the workers who are out at the wind farm back and forth into Ramsgate. I think that's a fishing boat that's causing all the noise just over here. You might be able to hear it. Again, some more people. Naturally, with their job, they'll be up early. And they'll have to catch the first fish of the day, or coming back from catching the first fish of the day. So we're now coming back up around to the old Maritime Museum, which is currently under scaffolding. How long that's going to be there for, I don't know. It's taken them long enough to actually start doing up the building, because it's been falling apart. But hopefully they restore it to what it formerly looked like. It's a lovely old building. It's quite iconic in Ramsgate. I must admit, it's not only people that are very quiet. Birds are very quiet. There's not many birds around either. Should be waking up about now. Ah, you can hear a rock pipit somewhere. I don't know whether that's getting picked up on the phone. You can hear that bird calling. That's a rock pipit. I don't know where he is, but rock pipits have a very good population. He's actually on the fence here. You might be able to see him. He's right down at the far end. You can just about see him. They have a very good population in Ramsgate Harbour. They seem to like it here. You can find them along the coast, right around this part of the world. Yeah, they've got a good representation, the rock pipits. Now, at the weekend, all the commemorations will be taking place, and you know, there'll be celebrations as well. There'll be tents up and events going on. As I say, we've got all these soldier figures, but we do have, just along here, some bronze figures to represent some of the groups of people that would have worked here in the harbour. I rather think this guy looks a bit like John Wayne, but he's I don't know what he is actually, but I'm sure someone could tell me. He's got a hook thing there, so maybe a fisherman of some sort, lifeboatman maybe. We've got some evacuees here as well. So many kids during the Second World War, they were sent from the cities into the country by their parents, and many willing people took them in to look after them and protect them from the bombing, because obviously you're not going to get Luftwaffe bombing in the middle of the English countryside, and they're going to be bombing the cities where all the important and strategic things are. So this is why the kids were evacuated. Got a tea lady there. I'm sure the soldiers that came back during the Dunkirk evacuation appreciated having a cup of tea when they got back. Our sailor. And a soldier. And just here, this is the Dunkirk Evacuation Memorial. This was unveiled in 2000 by Dame Vera Lynn. I actually saw her unveiling it. Yeah. So I better walk back round here because I'm getting tied off by this stuff. Don't want to get told off. Mind you, there's no one around at this time of the morning anyway. Rock pipit's still calling somewhere. Now you might be able to see this lovely ship just here. She is actually one of the little ships I recognise as she comes in pretty much every year. And I'll show you the plaque, that Dunkirk plaque I was saying about. You can just about see it on the door area there, that little plaque right in the middle of the picture. Every little ship has one of those plaques, so that everyone knows the contribution that they made during the Dunkirk evacuation. And like I say, we do have quite a few of the little ships that are now starting to come in. So most of them you will know because they've got their flags flying. So you've got a couple over here with their little pennants and flags flying over there. By the time we get to the weekend, we'll have quite a few in. So there we are. That's my little walk around the harbour. Hope you liked it. Have a good day.